Hi beautiful people, welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are in the kitchen and tonight I'm going to be showing you guys how I make a yummy Chinese takeout dinner. So for starters, we're going to be making chow mein. I'm going to make some kung pao chicken, and I'm going to be heating up some lumpia. Now I know lumpia is not traditionally a Chinese dish. I believe it is Filipino, but I prefer lumpia over egg rolls, and it's basically like a pork egg roll. I've never tried a different cuisine besides like Mexican, American, Italian food, so I'm very excited to try Chinese. Let's see if I can do it. Alright besties, so first thing I'm starting off with is 2 washed chicken breasts. You can use chicken thighs. I just prefer the meat of a chicken breast more. So I'm going to be starting by cubing my chicken, but I'm just going to be popping my little tiny chicken cubes into my bowl here. Alright besties, so now we're going to be marinating our chicken. Now luckily the chicken only needs to marinate for 10 minutes, which is my favorite. I hate having to wait like hours and hours for meat to marinate, so luckily this one will only take 10 minutes. Alright besties, so for our chicken, I'm going to be adding some soy sauce. Next, we're going to be adding Shaoxing Wine. Now, I could be pronouncing this wrong, you guys. I'm doing my best, but this is basically a cooking wine. If you don't have Shaoxing Wine, I got this from my local 99 Ranch Market, which is the Asian food market. You can always purchase like a dry Marsala wine from your grocery store. Same type of vibe. So I'm going to just add a little splash of that. Alright, I'm going to be adding a splash of vegetable oil. Next thing we're going to add, besties, is about a tablespoon of cornstarch. Lastly, for our marinated chicken, I'm going to be adding some salt and pepper, besties. Perfect. Alright, so I'm just going to give this a good little mix until everything is nice and coated. And then from here, we're going to let this chicken set aside, marinate on the counter for about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, we'll start making the sauce for the kung pao chicken. Alright besties, your meat should look something like this. Of course, I bought dark soy sauce just for this recipe and I spilled the entire thing. Bitch, the bottles are thin like paper, so don't drop it because it will immediately break. Alright besties, now I'm going to be chopping up 6 garlic cloves for our sauce. And I want these very, very finely minced. So for the kung pao chicken sauce, I'm going to be starting up, like I said, with those 6 minced garlic cloves, and I'm going to add this to my bowl. Next, I'm going to be adding some soy sauce. Now the recipe calls for dark soy sauce, but I showed you guys I accidentally dropped it, so I'm going to skip that step. We're now going to be adding in a little bit of rice vinegar, a little splash or so. I'm going to be adding about a tablespoon of sugar to our sauce. I'm going to add about a tablespoon or so of water. Again, we're going to add a little splash of that Shaoxing Wine. I'm going to add a little bit more cornstarch. Alright besties, and the last ingredient for the sauce is going to be some red chili flakes. We're going to give the sauce a good little whisk. So to my pan, I don't have a wok, so I'm just going to use a little saute pan. We're going to be adding a good layer of vegetable oil. I'm going to heat this up on medium-high heat, and I'll come back once it's warm. So now that the oil behind me is nice and warm, we're going to add our marinated chicken. All right, so in goes our chicken. All right, so we're just going to fry up our chicken until it's nice and cooked through. After this, we'll pull it off, and then we'll start adding in our veggies. So for my kung pao chicken, I'm going to be dicing up about half of an onion. Now, if you are not a fan of chopping up veggies in the kitchen, I have good news for you. It is your lucky day, bestie. All we have to do is chop these onions in pretty large chunks. Fear not, today we are not dicing up our onions super, super small. It is perfectly fine and better actually if we have the bigger chunks. Because my onion is so big, I'm gonna go ahead and stick with a quarter onion. This is about what it should look like. About a cup of onions is what you're looking for. Alright besties, so I just transferred my onions to a plate. Now I'm gonna be chopping up some green onions. Alright, I'm using about 3 stalks of green onion. And again, the size does not matter too much. I'm gonna be using a good amount of these. And then after I finish cutting these, I'm gonna go ahead and add this to that same plate that we've got the onions on. Prepping all of our veggies for the Kung Pao chicken. And then besties, from here, we'll go ahead and move on to the chow mein. All right, we've added the green onion to the plate. All right, besties, so the final veggies that we're gonna chop is half of a red bell pepper and also half of a green bell pepper. Of course, you wanna scoop out the inside of your bell pepper to get all those seeds out. This is the easiest way that I found, just scooping them out with a spoon. And like I said, I just kind of go around scooping out the inside and the core, and then the seeds pop right up too. All right, so again, as far as the bell peppers go, you don't want to chop it too small. We want pretty large chunks of this in our chicken. So I'm just going to be chopping pretty big chunks. Perfect. Now my green bell pepper was pretty small, so I'm going to be using the entire thing. Mixing up my chicken back here. Wow, it smells amazing. You guys, that chicken smells bomb. All right, I'm gonna chop some big slices of this bell pepper. You know what? F it. I'm gonna use the whole thing. Alright, besties, I have all my veggies nice and prepped. We have the green bell pepper, red bell pepper, green onion, and white onion. Now that the chicken looks like this, I'm gonna be pulling it all off and adding it to a bowl. Perfect. Oh my gosh. You guys, it smells amazing. I just pulled off our chicken. From here to that hot pan, we're gonna add all of our veggies. All right, I'm gonna add a bit more oil and all of our vegetables. I'm also gonna throw in about 5 or 6 of these Japanese chilies. A good little handful like that. Throws in. All right, I'm gonna season with some salt and pepper. Give it a good mix. We're gonna add our chicken right back in. And we're gonna put that yummy sauce right on top. Oh my gosh, this smells delish. Okay, I've got it on medium-low. We're gonna let it get nice and thick. All right, besties, so starting back on the chow mein, I'm gonna be starting up by chopping about 4 or 5 garlic cloves. I'm gonna do 5. And again, I want these pretty thin, so I'm gonna try to slice them as thin as I could get them. You want really small chunks. I just chopped up all my garlic and I put it in a nice little dish just like this. So in my pan back there, we're gonna add a little bit of olive oil. We're gonna throw in our minced garlic, and I'm gonna throw in about half of a tablespoon of minced ginger. All right, so as you guys can see, that sauce is getting nice and thick. That's exactly what we wanted. You wanna keep mixing it, that way it doesn't stick to the bottom, but this smells amazing. So you guys know I don't have a wok. In another pan, I'm gonna add some olive oil to the bottom. Throw in that minced garlic with a tiny bit of bell pepper. So like I said, I'm gonna add about a half a tablespoon of minced ginger. And I'm just gonna fry this up a little bit until the garlic starts to smell fragrant. So now for the vegetables for the chow mein, we're gonna be chopping up some green onion. And then again, I'm gonna be adding this to a plate just so we can have all of our veggies nice and ready. And we're gonna be adding all of these to that pan behind me with the garlic and ginger. I have my washed green onion on my plate. Now we're gonna chop up some regular onion. I'm just gonna use that other quarter piece that I have. And then again, a similar style to the Kung Pao chicken, we're gonna chop some pretty large pieces. All right, besties, just like that, we added the onion. I have a bag of soybean sprouts, so I'm gonna wash a few of these and we're gonna put some of these in the pan as well. All right, besties, I'm gonna throw in my bean sprouts. So I just added my little bean sprouts. Next thing, we're gonna be adding in some celery. Now I see you wanna kind of try to slice it if you can at a diagonal. Just helps with presentation. All right, besties, so as you guys can see, we have the onion, green onion, and celery. I'm gonna add this to our pan. There goes in our veggies. All right, we're gonna give this a good little stir. Next up, bestie, we're gonna be washing and chopping up some Chinese cabbage. Now, I got most of my ingredients from my local Asian market. If you don't have one near you, I'm sure you could find most of these at your regular grocery store. I'm just peeling off that outer layer, and then we're gonna chop this pretty fine. We'll give it a wash and throw it in with the vegetables. Perfect. And goes the cabbage. All right, besties, next thing I'm gonna be taking are these Canton noodles. Again, could be saying this totally wrong. I believe these are also Filipino noodles. I could not find the proper noodles, but these will do just as good. I'm gonna throw these in my pot of boiling water until they're finished, and then we're gonna keep working on the veggies and the sauce. We're so close to the finish line. I'm gonna go ahead and make the sauce for the chow mein, and then off camera, I'm just gonna fry up some of these lumpias, and then I guess we'll be back when everything's finished. For the sauce for the chow mein, we're gonna go ahead and start off by adding some soy sauce. All right, so we're gonna start by, like I said, by adding that soy sauce right to our little bowl here. Next, besties, I'm gonna be adding some sugar. We're gonna add some more of that Shaoxing Wine. Shaoxing Wine, I can't pronounce it right, I'm trying. Okay, so we're gonna add the wine, just a little splash. Great flavor from this. You absolutely need to get this. Again, I got it from the 99 Ranch Market or your local Asian food market. All right, besties, I'm gonna be adding some salt and pepper. Next thing, besties, we're adding some sesame oil. Just a few drops. This stuff is very strong. All right, we're gonna add another tablespoon of cornstarch to this. And the last thing we're gonna add is some oyster sauce. Just a little bit, but again, gives it really, really yummy flavor. Perfect. All right, besties, so now we're gonna be adding in our cooked pasta or cooked noodles. Okay, I'm gonna toss all of this together, and then we're gonna add that yummy sauce that we made. All right, besties, we're very close to the finish line. As you can see, I definitely need an apron. I'm gonna go ahead and whisk up our yummy sauce, and then we're gonna pour this right on top of that pasta or the noodles and the veggies. We're gonna stir fry it for a few minutes, and that's done. I'm gonna come back with the final results. And then of course, like I said, I'm gonna fry the lumpia off camera. This is what your little sauce should look like. Right, I'm gonna add in that yummy sauce. So similar with the Pao Chicken, we're gonna mix this up, and it's gonna take a few minutes for it to get nice and thick. We're gonna let it do its job, and I'll come back, besties, once I'm done. Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't. In case you besties are wondering, this is the brand of lumpia I like, and I just popped them in a pan of hot oil. All right, besties, bon appetit. This is how dinner turned out. I cannot wait to dive in. All right, besties, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give this video a big like, comment down below, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you besties in the next one. Love you guys.